I'd like to speak about our new Terminal 2 that opened almost exactly 1 year ago. It's a project that was built on a foundation of partnership, a very formal partnership process that ultimately allowed us to deliver a very successful project. It certainly exceeded my own expectations, and perhaps more importantly, it has exceeded the expectation of our passengers. So I'll speak about that foundation of partnership, the people component of the project, and then quickly run through some slides showing you Terminal 2. Terminal 2 opened in 1954, our oldest terminal building. It's a building that has seemingly embraced a contradictory description of San Francisco itself. A timeless classic, a bold trendsetter, and with a bit of quirkiness, maybe quite a bit of quirkiness thrown in for good measure. When the terminal opened in 1954, it was a 640,000 square foot building. It was cutting edge at the time. The first jet bridges, the first dual level roadway system, first automatic doors, and the first terminal, I'm told, to have radial terminal piers. It was a glamorous terminal, a different time in air travel. It was a glamorous time for air travel too. The terminal closed in the year 2000 when we opened our new international terminal, 2.5 million square foot building. And the building sat vacant for 10 years, something an airport director hates to have, a vacant terminal building, but we needed to wait for traffic growth to return. We decided in 2008 to make Terminal 2 the terminal for American Airlines and Virgin America, and we had to move quickly because Virgin America was doubling its flights every single year. We wanted to embrace both the historic nature of the terminal building as well as designing a terminal for the future. I thought it was going to be an enormous challenge and frankly didn't know how successful we'd be. I had a preference for tearing the building down and starting over, but the numbers showed it would be more economical to work with what we had, so that's what we worked from. We aimed to design a building that was strikingly modern, uniquely earth-friendly, of course financially successful, and we had an early goal of including amenities and services that go beyond the ordinary. And I think when you see the slides, you'll agree we delivered. We used a formal partnering process. In that formal partnering process, we started with a half-day visioning session. We then had another full-day session just to talk about specific goals, timelines, agree upon how problems were going to be resolved. We continue to do bi-weekly scorecard surveys to measure performance, to help identify problems. Regular meetings every month, evolving to weekly meetings by the end of the project. And I personally put in the time to attend all these meetings. Seems like an enormous commitment of time, but it's worth the investment. We've been successful in avoiding the problem that has plagued so many airport projects worldwide. That is a surprise problem. See this again and again, a very successful terminal, but somehow the one big problem, the problem with the baggage system or something else, doesn't rise to the surface, the terminal opens, and there's a huge problem. So the partnering really helps to avoid that. The visioning session we started with, we had a fun exercise of writing postcards from the future. Writing postcards, imagining what the experience would be like. So really opening up people's minds, beginning to get the group, 60 people, to think creatively. We wanted to bring back some element of the glamour and romance of travel in the terminal building. We wanted to provide a new, higher level of passenger experience than seen before in the US. We wanted to set a gold standard for sustainability in construction, food, ongoing operations. We wanted to be very uniquely evocative of San Francisco with the food and the art and the music. We've tried this before, but we wanted to carry it to a much greater extent. We wanted a lounge-like feeling in the terminal, a whole new approach to the feeling of a terminal building. Of course, we wanted to break records for passenger spending and complete the project on time and within budget. And as you'll see, and I'll describe a little more detail later on, all of these elements, all of these goals came to fruition. About a year into the project, I started to see things really coming together through the partnership approach. I started to hear from everyone involved, people who'd worked in the construction industry for 30 or 35 years saying, this is the best project I've ever worked on. People were having fun, they loved the people they were working with, communication was happening, and I started to see the design evolve to something much greater than I ever imagined was possible. We further built on the partnership approach by using a design-build methodology. We hired Turner Construction with Gensler Architects to lead the design build. We had to complete the work in 36 months from the time the firms entered into the contract with the airport. Under the design build approach, Turner started almost immediately gutting the building, doing seismic work, even as design was just starting. And it was a very successful project. The design build approach truly worked. I feel we got the very best architecture and contractors pursuing this work. Both teams delivered it at a very high level. Project completed on budget, within the 36-month schedule. Very importantly, no problems, no surprise problems on the day we opened the terminal building. We further built on the partnering process by having quick response teams. 30 quick response teams of all the key players involved in baggage systems, flight information display systems, concessions, many different areas. They were set up to sort through the issues quickly so that they didn't hold up the designers, to be able to make decisions quickly, and very importantly, to resolve problems as they arose quickly. And I think this approach was key to our success as well, and something we'll continue to have on all of our projects going into the future. All of these approaches paid off, as I'll show you in the slides now. And keep in mind as you're looking at the slides that we wanted to create a club-like atmosphere, a living room feel throughout the terminal, surprise amenities and services going beyond the ordinary. So starting with a view of the terminal in 1955, shortly after it first opened, it is a dramatic space, about a 65-foot ceiling, so we had good bones to work with in the building. The exterior of the building today is artwork on the exterior, artwork throughout. All of the artwork has a theme of San Francisco clouds and fog, and you'll see other artwork that carries through. So keep in mind, 1954 building looks very modern today. A view of the ticket counter area. It looks more like a W Hotel lobby, doesn't it? Not something you expect to see in an airport. In the seating area and the departures level, we particularly wanted to carry that living room feeling through. All of the gates have swivel chairs, coffee tables, stone work counters for plugging in the computers. There's a view of the computer tables. We wanted a lot of room so that passengers could not only plug in, do their work, but also spread out all the food and drinks that they're buying from our concessions. American Airlines built a new lounge that achieved LEED Silver certification, and Virgin America achieved LEED Gold certification for the facilities it put in place, although it doesn't have a club. The restrooms. We know from our surveys again and again the most important factor in how our passengers rate the airport overall are quality restrooms, high quality restrooms, very clean restrooms. So we put a huge emphasis on this, and we carried it to the extreme here. Granite countertops, music piped in, stone floors, about 50% bigger than what the architectural standards call for. Vanity counters in both the men's and women's rooms. Really, it is something you'd expect to see in a St. Regis or a Four Seasons hotel bathroom. And I love just walking through the terminal and see people come out and comment to their spouse, and I can't believe how nice those bathrooms are. I hope it will come through in high ratings from our passengers. Arrival level seating, also not what you'd expect. No stanchion seating in the arrivals level. At the front of the building, floor-to-ceiling windows, swivel chairs, coffee tables. People can sit down and sit comfortably, maybe have a coffee, spend more money while they're waiting for their friend or family member to pick them up. In the boarding area, again, a closer shot view of the boarding area. You can see on the right side a little bit of the seating from the food court. We specifically designed this so that food court seating spills into all 14 gate areas. We know that a lot of passengers want to be close to the gate area where they can see the gate podium, they can hear announcements. but we don't like them sitting there not spending money, not enjoying our concessions. So by having the tables from the food court spilling into every one of the hold rooms, passengers are encouraged to spend right up until the time they board the flight. This is a recompose area, something that Gensler came up with, a great idea. Large bench seating right beyond security. Passengers can take their time, putting on their shoes, waiting to catch up with their traveling companions. A big, airy, light-filled space, artwork from the ceiling, again, the cloud-like form. And this has become a standard now. People love this so much, it's clear we're going to have to carry this through to all of the terminal buildings throughout the airport. And this area also leads right into our retail street. We have a retail street that requires all of our passengers to walk by every single retail facility, so no retailer misses a sales opportunity. So one of the two children's play areas, and this one doubles as a piece of artwork. The meeting point, this is just beyond the exit from the boarding area. Again, comfortable seating. Swivel chairs, coffee tables, a wall of banquette seating, and some great artwork. Here's a closer view of the food court seating that spills right up to the edge of the boarding areas. Passengers, as they walk through to their gate, they don't just walk by the food court area, they have to walk right through the center of the food court area, so that they're seeing every single restaurant and know all the great offerings that we have. Spend, spend, spend. We heard from passengers after we opened. They love the facility. I love walking through the terminal and hearing the great comments, but a couple of passengers said to me, you have everything imaginable, but you need a space for yoga. So we did it. We took a 120 square foot storage room and converted it to a yoga room. A fun little feature, people are always using it. We did a little press event around the yoga room. Guess how many news stories we got? 8,600 news stories worldwide on a 120 square foot yoga room. We take pride in being the only accredited museum in an airport in the world. And we have museum exhibits throughout the airport. Of course, have a great exhibit area in Terminal 2. We change the exhibits every 2 or 3 months. This is an exhibit of silver, I believe, from Sweden. And we recently had another exhibit of records and record cover artwork. And the welcome sign, of course, a reminder, I know who I work for. I work for the mayor of San Francisco, the citizens of San Francisco, and the Bay Area itself. That is who I serve. And we feel we've really designed something unique for San Francisco here. We have hydration stations. Passengers can refill their water bottles. You've probably seen many times as you travel, people in line at water fountains trying to struggle to fill their water bottles. We have hydration stations now that we started here with, but now we've quickly put in around the airport because people expect this service throughout the airport. As Eric mentioned, we achieved LEED Gold certification. Some of the things to highlight with LEED Gold certification: 95% recycling of construction waste, a gray water piping system into the restrooms, use of natural light as a primary lighting source during the day in the terminal building. Something very unique, we required the restaurateurs to have 100% compostable food packaging material. Not just recyclable, but compostable. And not just the package itself, the fork, the knife, the cup, even the water bottles are 100% compostable. So when passengers finish their meal, it all goes into the composting bin. We don't even need a trash can. And overall, I should mention, we've been very aggressive on the environmental front, and we have found that we've achieved cost savings. Overall, the energy savings that we've achieved have paid off. Food and beverage concepts, uniquely San Francisco. Some star chefs, Kat Cora from the Iron Chef, and Tyler Florence, another famous chef, also Bradley Ogden. In the Napa Farms Market, this is a food emporium, similar to the San Francisco Ferry Building, if you've ever been there, a much larger food emporium. Cheese stand, bread stand, you can buy chocolates, wines, rotisserie chicken, full-service marketplace concept, fresh fruit. It's been an enormous success. The retail concept's combination of both local and national brands. And again, every passenger sees every single retail and food and beverage facility, and that pays off. Happy passengers and a lot of spending, close to $14 per enplanement, considering that we have virtually no international passengers, just a couple flights a day to Mexico, and we have quite a few short-haul flights to LA, Las Vegas, Seattle from this terminal. This is an astounding figure. We continue to have unique events throughout the year, live music performances, flash mob using Twitter. The ultimate measure of success is I love to hear passengers say they don't want to leave Terminal 2, they don't want to get on the plane. It's been a great project, and we've really set a new standard for ourselves. In effect, we've branded our airport with this facility, and we need to carry that brand and the unique services and amenities throughout the rest of the airport, and that's what we're working on now. And we'll continue to use a formal process of partnering that ensures that all of the people come together to deliver something truly exceptional. Thank you.